But we're in the magnificent library of Ron Maxwell here in Flint Hill, Virginia, talking about not only the movie Gettysburg, but a movie he's also recently made called Copperhead. Before we went to break, you were moving in that direction. Please continue.
Well, one of the reasons I made Copperhead was because in both Gettysburg and Gods and Generals, the exploration was, and the question was, the cinematic question was, why do good, honorable, ethical, moral men choose to go to war? There were a lot of sadists and nasty people in the Civil War, just like there are in all wars, but that's not what interests me. Other filmmakers should explore that.
And some do.
And some do. I'm interested, when I started the Gettysburg, in where would my friends be? Where would my father be? My father was a World War II veteran. He was a really good guy. Mm-hmm. He enlisted in 1942. Like so many others, he may not have come back. He was in North Africa. He was up the boot of Italy, savage fighting. He was in the U.S. Army Air Corps. He lived to tell the tale. But he was a good guy. He was an honorable guy. He was no sadist. And so what interested me in the American Civil War, I wanted to find those people. And we found them. We found them wearing blue and wearing gray. Honorable, ethical, moral people who chose not only to risk their life, but to kill. This is a big choice.
Yes.
And so both movies explore that. So when I got to the end of that, I said, what about the good, honorable, ethical men who choose not to go to war? Again, there are shirkers, there are cowards, there are deserters, there's all sorts
There are people who bought their way out of the Civil War?
All sorts of negative stuff, which should be explored in motion pictures, but that's not what interested me. I wanted to know where the strong, ethical, moral guys were. And I found such a man in the novel by Harold Frederick that was written in 1899 about a fellow living in upstate New York. Abner Beach is the fictional name, but based on real events, who decided the Civil War was a mistake. And he didn't want to sacrifice his sons to go into the charnel house of the Civil War. There were many people like him on both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. There were people in the North who said we shouldn't be fighting, and there were people in the South who said we shouldn't have seceded, we shouldn't be fighting. Someday, other filmmakers, I hope, will explore that, the anti-war element that was in the South, because it's a great story. Well, I explored in Copperhead the anti-war element in the North. And so it's an exploration of dissent, when you're the one person saying no when everybody else is saying yes. And that's a dangerous position to be in.
What are you labeled as?
Traitor.
And what is the psychological process that ensues?
Copperhead is about what happens in the town up in the North. And it happened all across the North, as it happened in the South too, of a community that's divided and turns against itself over politics. Divided over politics and how they dehumanize one another, even within the context of a small town in America.
Starts with not listening.
It begins with not listening, with not crediting the other person's point of view, with not respecting the other person's point of view. And it's a form of mental tyranny that we're all susceptible. We're all susceptible of this, thinking we've got it all figured out. And the other guy's point of view is not just different, but it's immoral. It's unethical. It's not worthy of consideration. And once we go down that road, it's a dangerous road to go down. There's a quote from the Gulag Archipelago, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, which I love, and I'm going to butcher it, but it goes something like this. He said, if it was only so easy, if we could just take all the bad people and separate them from the good people and put them over there and deal with them. But that's a fallacy, because the line between good and evil cuts across the heart of every human being. This is the battleground, right here in our own hearts.